There's an ongoing fascination that us girls seem to have with bad boys. Over the years, we've had all sorts. James Dean, Steve McQueen, Danny Dyer, Vinnie Jones, P. Diddy, Eminem. But today, our stereotypical bad boy often comes across a bit like this. Now let's take a look a bit more closely. First of all, we've got the baggy jeans, and they actually seem to be falling down. I mean, look, do we really think this is cool? Girls, is this really what we want? Then there's the immature side, commonly found in the bad boy.
Bruv, this song is a banger. This is a banger, bruv. Do you get the mixtape?
Bruv, let me listen to the tune, man. Mind your feet off there, man.
Calm down, man.
Dirty,
you got a nice car, innit? Like, what you feel like?
And trying it on with anything with a pulse.
Hello, ladies.
Go, definitely.
Yo!
Not exactly the loyal puppy dog that our dads hope for us. We also have the vain bad boy. Self-obsessed and selfish. I mean, again, really? Then there's the petty crime. This is simply not big or clever. So why would this impress us? The one that thinks they're cool and crazy. Look, girls, this is not cool. Maybe embarrassing, yes.
You do.
And not forgetting the desperado.
Okay, what about you? We look like this.
Seriously, cringe. Then there's the smooth operators. I mean, why do we fall for it?
Take you home then, yeah?
You can take me home.
Oh, why not, man?
When it's pretty obvious that they're not exactly honest.
Oh, your market girl.
And it always ends in tears. And what about the bragging about the dodgy stuff they get up to? And how hard they are? Really, if you think about it, it's pretty pathetic. Not only is most of what they claim to do either dangerous or illegal, it's also going to get them absolutely nowhere.
Head drops on the floor. They turn around before they even notice. Bang, bang on the floor. Everyone, you have to kick out.
And half of it is made up just to look cool anyway. And what's even more concerning is that we seem to think this makes them interesting and exciting. So why can't we just go for the nice guy? What's so wrong with a nice guy?
Can you drop me home? Do you reckon you can take me home? Give me a lift?
Yeah, if you want, yeah. My car's outside, so
Okay.
I've not had that much.
At least we get home safe and sound. And what's so wrong with that?
Do you want me to drop your friend home as well, or?
Probably not. Don't bother.
In conclusion, yeah, there's a lot of bad boys out there. But seriously, what about the silly girls that go after them?
Well, why do some women go gaga over a bad boy? What is it about that some girls just can't resist? Now, I would like your opinion at home about this. Do give us a call. It's a live show, and I'd love to hear your opinions. Have you been out with a bad boy before? How did it end? Has it ended, or is it still going on? You can give us a call on 020 7686 6300, and you can also email me on chris@chrissybshow.tv, and don't forget, you can also Facebook The Chrissy B Show. Now, I have a bit of a different idea of what a bad boy is, and actually, I thought they were more sort of, let's say, clean cut, not so. I mean, I think most girls wouldn't actually go for someone like that. Maybe the teenage girls would, but I think the more mature women would never go for someone like that. But anyway, this is according to a men's magazine. Now, this is what a bad boy actually is, and this is by askmen.com. They're saying a bad boy is cocky and arrogant, always puts himself first, is inattentive to a woman's needs, does what he wants when he wants to do it, regardless of what anyone else thinks. He acts like a loose cannon. He struts his masculine sexuality, isn't even remotely a nice guy. Why is it that girls don't like nice guys, Sam? I just don't understand it. He treats women badly, and he often uses women for sex. So that's what they define a bad boy as. What's your definition? Give us a call, 020 7686 6300. My guests tonight include Chelsea Black, who we've met before, and she's a love expert. And I've also got ex-bad boys, Joseph Dyer, and also Israel Matos, they're both going to be telling us about their antics in the past. and why certain girls maybe fell for them. So I'm quite interested to hear what goes on in the male mind. And also we have Lisa Marie with us, who's going to be telling us about the celebs. Hi, Lisa Marie.
Hi, Chrissy.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So what do you think about this topic? And let's introduce Chelsea as well, since she's on the sofa, since she's shown her on the camera. We're supposed to keep her a secret for a while, but since she's on the... Hi, Chelsea. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me back.
Well, I think I'm kind of like you, whereas I think the kind of examples that were shown were quite for teenagers a lot of the time. And I think that for more mature ladies, the bad boys, they still present themselves as bad boys. And I think it's the confidence, first of all, that is attractive.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't blame the bad boys because they don't dress it up to be anybody else. But the fact is that they're a bad boy. It's something that people keep attractive. I mean, it's even that people sing about it. Alexandra Burke, one of the winners of the X Factor, sang, "The bad boys are always catching my eye." So, you know, it's a thing that happens with all of us. And there's lots.
Is she still a teenager?
No. She's now like in her 20s, I think. So
See, she's still going for them, isn't she?
still
Like,
going, she says they're always catching her eye. What can she do? So looking online, I mean, I was having saying that some of the reasons that were given for people going for bad boys are, I can be the one to change him. The same, as I said, the confidence is really attractive.
I can see Chelsea going, what? Never.
That's what some people think, isn't it? That something that they've got that's different, maybe that the other ladies didn't have, and they're the one that can change him. But I mean, we've got a couple of celeb examples like Russell Brand. This is the one I could never, ever understand because to me, my opinion, not necessarily the Chrissy B Show, I think he looks like he's very unwashed. Like he just comes, like, you know, the hair's greasy, the skinny jeans and all that kind of thing. He just didn't look right, but he was never, ever short of a girlfriend, jumping from one girl to the next, the next, the next. And people thought that he was tamed when he married Katy Perry, but obviously that didn't quite go so well. So now he is single once again. I think he's been with Jerry Halliwell and a couple of others since he's been single. So there we go. Maybe it's back to old ways.
What's the fascination with him then? What do you think, Chelsea?
I find Russell Brand quite attractive.
Oh dear, there you go.
I'm sorry.
You just called him unwashed.
But I said my opinion.
And I think it's because he's intelligent,
Yeah.
he's amusing, he's funny, and he's very, very confident, sexually confident, as well as, you know, confident in approaching ladies. So I could understand why women would constantly be drawn to him because his energy is attractive energy. The fact that they know he's a bad boy kind of means that, you know, they may not take him that seriously. They may just be in it for the fun. So we have to give them that as well.
Okay. What about the next one? Let's see.
Colin Farrell. He got the reputation as the bad boy of Hollywood because he was just known for his wild lifestyle. So I don't know how he managed to do it, hold down the day job, you know, making these films and all that. But then on his off days, or quite often some not, he'd be featuring falling out of clubs, always drunk, you know, smoking cigarettes, always with this lady, with that lady. He's kind of calmed down a bit now. He's got a child, but he had that reputation always as kind of like a hellraiser, basically. Yeah. Chris Brown is quite a modern day bad boy. Most people know him as the current boyfriend or on and off boyfriend of Rihanna. But he obviously was well known when he first came onto the scene, just a fresh-faced boy, you know, cute guy, can dance, can sing, you know, really exploded onto the R&B scene. Then obviously it was kind of like almost like the Victoria and David of like the R&B world when it was him and Rihanna got together. And then obviously on the way to the Grammys or the Grammys pre-party a couple of years ago, we know it got in some kind of argument and he basically like beat her face to a pulp and was widely condemned, widely shunned. But once he had like gone through his probation and stuff like that, he came back, but still the same kind of behaviour. He was still getting in trouble for his anger outbursts and all that kind of things. He's got this horrible tattoo on the side of his neck that looks like a picture of a woman being beat up. But then Rihanna, he said it's to do with some kind of Mexican death mask thing. But it looks horrible.
That one? So I don't know the papers
looks
very much.
it does look absolutely awful.
But why do you think someone would go back to him after?
Well,
what do you think, girls?
Rihanna
Because
says that she sees something different in him and says he's not the monster that everyone else kind of makes him out to be. But I mean, no one can force him to like destroy his dressing room in a fit of rage or something like that. But that's the guy that she wants to be with. But the thing is, when they are together, the pictures and stuff that come out are not that great. I mean, there's pictures of them on Instagram and stuff like that, but smoking weed and the kind of positions that they find themselves in. So it's not exactly.
Although I am a great believer in that people can change.
Yeah.
That people can change if they get the right help. Most people, if they really want to, I think anyone can sort of put a past behind them and get the right help. And because I've seen, you know, we've had lots of people on this show that changed their lives around. But for someone for her to go back to someone like that
doesn't appear
it doesn't appear to have changed. I think that's such a big risk, and I think some women just, I don't know what it is. Why do they fall for them, Chelsea?
Well, I think we've got to also remember that they're not bad boys 100% of the time, and that's the argument that these women will use. So they'll say, oh, but you don't see the other sides of him. 80% of the time he's a real sweetheart and he's really nice to me and he treats me really well, and it's only the 20% where, you know, he's a bad boy. So really I think that's the reason, really.
Okay, we're going to go to a quick break, but afterwards we're going to continue talking about a couple more celebs, right? You got two more?
Yeah, we've got
two more celebs, and then we'll be back with Chelsea as well to give her opinion. So join us then.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show, where we're speaking about what the obsession is with bad boys. Why do so many women fall for them? What is it about them that makes women just fall head over heels? So do give us a call with your opinion, 020-7686-6300. And also later on, we're going to have on 2 ex-bad boys. Now, unfortunately, we couldn't actually get on any current bad boys because they don't actually want to admit to their antics on TV, because then no one's going to go for them.
Don't want to reveal their secrets.
They do not want to, exactly. So what can we do? So we're going to have to hear it from the mouth of 2 ex-bad boys. So do we have any emails as well, Lisa?
Yeah, I do. I asked people, like, why do women love a bad boy? And Alicia said, girls like bad boys because they believe they will feel safe when they are around them. Plus, they believe it makes them look bad and hard when acting bad to impress them. Also, they say...
I don't understand why no one would feel safe around one.
I think Alicia is a younger person, and maybe that, you know, when we're saying about the typical bad boy in that video earlier, that kind of culture that people are around, it's kind of like a status thing as well, that they're with that kind of bad boy, and everyone else who respects them is then going to automatically respect the girlfriend at the time because they're with them.
So it's like having a Rottweiler or something. Is that what they're saying?
This is what it sounds like.
Nice comparison, Chelsea. That's really good.
So they should say that, that when acting bad to impress them, they say, I love bad boys, but they don't know they could be in danger if they were involved in a serious crime. Because like Barbara said in that video as well, that they're doing illegal activities. You could be, you know, hurt just by knowing that person as an act of revenge and stuff like that. So another person, Tamara, said it's simply because of the excitement of being with a bad boy. They're keeping you on your toes. You don't know what's coming next.
Okay. And what about the celebs? We've got a couple more celebs to talk about.
I do. I have Ashley Cole. We know he was married to literally the nation's sweetheart as she became, Cheryl Cole. And not,
someone doesn't like.
not her biggest fan, but the public humiliation I thought was, you know, quite a bit. And because it wasn't like once or twice, it was quite a few times that she kind of was basically, her pictures up there because he's on the front page of the newspapers because someone has done some kind of kiss and tell on him. And it's like not once, not twice, a few times until she finally said, bye-bye, Ashley Cole. And finally, I think one of the ultimate bad boys, Mr. Bobby Brown. He was like the original bad boy of his day. You know, the girls, the parties, the alcohol, the drink, everything like that, that was all about Bobby Brown. So everyone was really shocked when he got with Whitney Houston, who was seen, you know, to be one of the clean, kind of happy-go-lucky girls in the kind of pop R&B.
She was, no? Oh, come and tell us. What do you know, Chelsea?
No, I think it's interesting that you mentioned Cheryl Cole and Whitney, because both of them are bad girls. in their own way. I mean, Cheryl had a past before she met.
Oh, totally.
She met Ashley, and Whitney. She was PR'd to death to be the good girl
Ooh,
because
tell
that
us,
was her
tell us,
image.
tell us.
No, but she had that. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what people said. She was a bit of a fighter, a bit of a scrapper. You know, she had a fight with Janet Jackson over Bobby Brown. So she wasn't.
She wasn't sweet and innocent.
No,
like-
she wasn't. So I think
Yeah.
it's interesting that they were actually very well matched, both of those couples, I think.
See,
So,
I think she was a major, from what I said, I think she was a major diva and all that behind the scenes. But in terms of being kept away from those things, that they were able to do that. So she was in the music business, which I think is, you know, most people at one point or another come across drugs, alcohol, blah, blah, blah. But she was able to kind of, her PR machine were able to keep her away from those kind of things until it was her and Bobby. And then once she kind of stopped listening to the people that she was listening to all those years and just listened to and got involved in that kind of lifestyle, then you kind of saw that steady decline. You heard it in her voice, you saw it in her appearance. And I think there was pictures at one time that came out that literally showed their house, and their bathroom was just like drugs, paraphernalia all about everywhere. So, you know, he was like the original bad boy, and I think currently he's actually in jail. So yeah,
Oops.
swings
Okay,
and
so
roundabouts.
never mind. All right. So Chelsea, now tell us, why do you think women go for bad boys? Did you ever go for bad boys?
No, yeah, I like nice boys.
Really?
Yeah. But I think the reason most women go for bad boys is because they're bored with their own lives, and they don't look for their own interests and hobbies, and they see someone who they think they can reform or who's exciting, and then they just gravitate towards them. It's actually almost lazy on the women's part, and I don't blame the bad boys, because if I could get away with half the stuff they did, I think I probably would. So I blame the women, because they see the signs and then they think, well, you know, it's exciting, it's cool to talk about all the issues you have in your relationships. I'm not a fan.
Well, I think because like you mentioned as well, the confidence, because something that I know does attract women is a man's confidence, and bad boys do have a lot of confidence. They don't care. They will just say things as they are. They will just go up to any woman and that they like and talk to them. They don't have sort of that kind of awkwardness when they go and try and chat them up. So women do like that. But the thing is, there are nice men that are confident as well. But I don't know what it is. They seem to just fall, some of them fall for the bad ones. And I think sometimes as well, I don't think you realise initially who you're dealing with, because I've got my own experience when I was at college, and I met this he was a really nice guy, and he used to talk about his mum, you know, such a deceiver. So such a deceiver. He used to talk about his mum all the time, and I thought, oh, you know, he's a nice family man and family guy and everything. So I thought, oh, he's sweet, he's nice. He just turned out to be the worst kind of bad boy, because it was the one that pretended to be nice, but he wasn't. And I think those ones are the worst ones. And it's only like with time that you get to sort of know them, and when they treat you badly and stuff like that.
He's a bad person, though, not a bad boy. Most bad boys you spot immediately, and you make a decision as to whether or not you're going to go for them. But he tricked you, so he actually showed one side.
He
and
was a very bad boy.
Yes, exactly. So it's just a bad person, full stop.
I think the initial, like, some of the signs are, do they, you know, call you when they say they're going to call you? Do they bother calling you at all? It could be, you know, they've said they'll call you tomorrow, and it'll be days and days and days when you're by the phone. They don't really keep to their word. They'll, you know, and then they expect you to come running as soon as they click their fingers. And it's when these ladies do that, it reinforces.
It gives women such a bad reputation, girls.
It does, but that's why they do it, because those women reinforce that confidence, and they know that as soon as they go like this or say jump, the woman's like, how high? And it's like, they go for those kind of women that are going to be like that. And those women don't do themselves any favours, because they see the signs blatantly, because some of them, they go for these kind of men all the time. So when you know that he doesn't keep his word, you don't meet any of his friends, you're not really meeting any of his family, that should be like warning signs.
We've got some reasons why, some women have given reasons why they do like bad boys themselves. We've spoken about the confidence, but also some of them say that they actually like it when guys are sort of like, oh, whatever, you know, if for example I go out with you, I'm not really that bothered, or if it's someone else, I'm not really that bothered. So they kind of, for some reason, I think they like the kind of challenge of like, oh, he's not that bothered about me, but I'm going to make him bothered about me. I'm going to make him like me. So they think that they, like you said before, they think that they can change that guy when he's really not bothered. He's really not. He's probably not looking for a serious relationship right now. I'm not saying that he isn't later, because with the two that we've got on today that are going to talk to us very shortly, you know, they weren't that bothered, but now they are sort of serious about their love life. So, you know, things can change, but for some women, that's something attractive that they want to like pursue. And also, they say that these bad boys, they're adventurous, they're exciting in some way. So maybe they're, I don't know, into extreme sports and like they just like doing different things, not the sort of typical things that maybe the typical nice guy would do. But as I said, I think all of these, well, not except the last one I was talking about, but being exciting and adventurous, a nice guy could be not exciting and adventurous, couldn't he?
Definitely.
I understand.
Definitely. I mean, I think it's that when there's it's like somebody is actually saying what they're going to say, or doing what they say they're going to do. It's like, that's like that's boring for those ladies. But it's just like, hello, that's the kind of person that you actually want to have. You can trust that person. You know that what they're going to say 9 times out of 10, if you're in a serious relationship, that they're going to be telling you the truth about something. A bad boy, you can't really take his word for anything.
Now, we were actually meant to have a psychologist on tonight as well, but she couldn't make it. She had to cancel last minute. So I did want to sort of get into the thinking behind, you know, why certain women will go for the bad boys. But they did some research apparently, and they thought a lot of women said that the sort of bad boy kind of person they thought would be more sort of protective and also be a better father.
There is a concept that the best husbands are reformed rakes, and that's been since sort of Victorian Regency era. So we've always had this thing that if you do reform someone who was a bad boy, then they've changed for you and therefore will be a better sort of provide. And there's also that protective thing that you were talking about earlier in that first email that we heard, which is like, you know, they can protect because they've got that slight dark edge, that sort of dangerous edge. And for some reason, women really like that. So I think I can see the logic, although it's not quite,
And some of them say as well, they think bad boys are more masculine than the typical nice guy.
They tend to be more alpha dominant. I can understand why they'd confuse that with masculine.
I want to hear from the guys themselves. So after the break, we're going to be joined by Joseph and Israel, they're both going to be revealing all the secrets of the bad boys. So join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back, and we are still talking about bad boys, and we have 2 ex-bad boys on the sofa. We have Joseph and Israel. I don't know if you guys remember Israel. He used to be the ex-Casanova last time, but because he only had like a very short period to talk last time, and I know he had a lot more to say, and I wanted to hear more from him, so we invited him back as well. So how are you both?
I'm okay.
Are you a bit scared to talk about it?
No.
Because we have opened the phone line, so you might get some stick from some of the ladies.
No, it's okay.
But I know you're both reformed characters now, aren't you?
Yes.
I am.
I am. I definitely am.
Yeah. All right, so tell us, Joseph, first of all, what were you like before?
Well, basically, I would never commit in any relationship. From a very young age, that was me. I just looked at women as something to use, really, basically.
Just something to use.
Yeah.
Where did that stem from? Do you think?
Well, maybe from. The first relationship I had didn't really work out that well, and I thought I'm not going to be the one who gets hurt. Oh, okay. Basically,
so you were quite serious about her then.
No, not really, but.
So why did you get so hurt then?
I know, but it was just my male pride, I think, as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I thought, no, that's not the way to do. I mean, at that time, I thought I was not being a nice guy. I wasn't really that nice to her, really, when I think about it, but. I just got this thing inside of me, like I thought, no, there's no way that's going to happen to me again. So I didn't want it to happen to me again. So I just
so you didn't trust any woman then, basically?
Not really, no.
So what classed you as a bad boy then? What did you used to do?
I just used to have many women.
Same time?
Yeah, I've had many women at the same time. I had always had someone to go to.
Didn't you ever feel guilty?
Not at the time, no.
Nothing? Not even a little tiny...
No way. I didn't.
And did you ever get caught?
Yeah, on quite a few occasions. But
and what was that like? You weren't bothered, were you? No,
I wasn't really bothered, but I just denied it anyway.
You still what, sorry?
I just denied it.
Oh, just denied it?
Definitely. never admit to anything. That's part of being a bad boy. Like you don't admit to.
But with these ladies, when you were with one, how did you actually treat her? Were you bad to her, or did you come across quite sort of like a gentleman? Were you like that kind of person that used to really lie and pretend you were someone else? What were you like with them?
I was reasonably nice, but I wouldn't really take them out. I would just see them in my own circumstances. Not like if they wanted to go out, I much really wouldn't want to go out with them. I wouldn't take them out with me because I would be going out. I would be going out obviously to find someone else. So I didn't want them out with me. I didn't want to be seen to have someone, but I always did have someone.
So did they find it a bit strange that you want to stay home all the time?
I was in control of everything, so that was it really.
Okay. It's so cool about you. What about you, Israel?
Like I told you before,
remind our viewers that didn't watch the...
Yeah, I always started being a bad boy because I was cheated.
So someone cheated on you?
Yeah, the first girlfriend, I was so in love. She was the one, the perfect girl. She cheated with my best friend. So that actually led me to like, whatever, let's do the same thing. Let's play with girls. Started from there. Then I actually like playing girls.
Liked or
yeah.
liked?
Liked.
Yeah, okay. Just make that clear.
I liked playing girls because it's a bit dangerous, a bit funny, but different from him, I would be the person that the girl wants me to be.
Right,
so,
okay.
for example,
what was that then?
If you needed someone needy, I would be the needy guy. But if you needed someone a bit more tough, I would be the tough guy. So I would change according to the girl I was to.
Wasn't that really hard to keep up though? Because you weren't being yourself.
No, not really, not at the time. Because you won. Like for example, in one day, I went out with 5 different girls.
Oh my gosh.
I think that was the worst day of my life, actually.
Really? Tell us why. Why was that?
Because in one of the went out, I said the other girl's name.
Oh.
And she was
good.
Like, who is she? I was like, she's my sister. Didn't I tell you about? No, you never told me about it. Yeah, my sister. But that got me in really problems because later on she found out that her best friend was with me too.
Oh. Right. See, you always get caught in the end. You can't keep the act up for long.
And bad boys know they're gonna get caught.
Did you feel guilty?
Not really.
No. So so you never felt guilty. Why do you think that is, Chelsea? Why didn't they feel guilty?
I think because they weren't emotionally engaged in the relationship. It was all a game, and it was you didn't go for women who you had an attachment to.
I felt guilty once because I actually started liking the girl.
Yeah. Oh.
But
then you stopped yourself from getting in too deep.
No, that's where I don't want to get.
Why do you guys think that girls fall for bad boys, in your opinion?
Go ahead, Joseph.
You want to get out of the question.
I just think there's something that they find dangerous. There's something that attracts them. For myself, I mean, I was, in a sense, I was a little bit of a villain. I was very like tough. I would not take any stick from anyone. I wouldn't. I was that type of guy. So, but in that sense, how I was I was very cold. So, and some of the women that I was with, I think they wanted to try to change me, to try to, be lovey-dovey, and I was
ladies. Sorry, just for the record, you can't change a man. We've said this before, right? You cannot change, especially a bad boy. He has to want to change for himself. So if you're trying, you're going to be there for a long time and you're probably just going to get hurt. Isn't that right, Joseph?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I, to tell the truth, I had quite a few quite long relationships with women that I didn't even really want to be with.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, because they was always there. And even when... Like I wouldn't want to break up with them. I wouldn't break up with them. They'd just be there, and every time I see them, would engage. Some of them, they just wanted to keep hanging on. That was their thing. So, in a sense, you call it bad boys. I mean, even I'm reformed, but sometimes the woman allows that to actually be the situation. Because personally myself, I wouldn't accept it. You know, I would just be like, I'll be gone. And sometimes we would have a laugh about how these women will be because they don't see, you know, something that's blinding them. I don't know what it is, but obviously.
Although I think most women, I think most women know, but sometimes, for whatever reason, maybe like a bad past or something like that, being hurt in the past, or even upbringing. Sometimes I think they don't have much self-respect, or they don't value themselves much. They think sometimes they think they can't do better. They think this is if it's not this guy, I don't think I can do any better than this guy. I don't deserve anyone that will treat me better, because they have that low opinion of themselves for some reason. And it's quite sad when, you know, they're valuable and they don't realize how valuable they are.
But I think there's different types of bad boy, and different girls go for different types of bad boy. So I mean, I had friends who were more or less doing the same thing, and they would have there would be a different type of woman that would go for them. Really? Yeah. So it depends on the woman.
I think the whole fame, the whole name of being a bad boy, already attracts a lot of women, because, you know, famous. Oh, the guy's the bad boy. You know, the guy is the one who being played. Many girls stay with, and girls normally tend to comment with each other. No, I stay with this guy. He did this to me. And normally, most of the stories isn't really truth. It's probably most of lies, but because they wanna, you know, I stay with that guy. So that what really makes a bad boy. Because normally bad boys are just guys who are tough, who don't really care about nothing. So what is the whole point of staying with a bad boy?
How are you both single?
Yeah.
Okay. How would you? First of all, what's your ideal woman? What would she be like? I don't mean looks now, but I mean sort of like, you know, what kind of qualities are you looking for in a woman?
Woman that's homely, that's good with family, loving, and one I'll be able to communicate well with.
How would you treat her, Joseph?
I would treat her well.
Elaborate. Come on, this is your chance. You're on live TV. You know, you never know who's watching.
Yeah, I would. I'm prepared to do what needs to be done. Yeah. Yeah, as well as before. And you know, we've been so uncaring. Before, it makes you see, you know, really. I mean, when I look back at it, I was really like not really a nice person. But I mean, it made me understand what it's really like now, what I really want to be, you know, or how the type of person I want to be, because that type of person doesn't have any morals in that sense. They just, I mean, in that time, I would do anything to get to where I wanted to be. Yeah. So that was me. So it was with girls, it was with anything I was doing. So basically, I was just quite ruthless. So now, you know, I've looked at it and I consider how people feel. I
suppose you're looking forward to meeting the right person now, aren't you? So you can like treat her nicely and do. All right. But Israel, you're not going to get away with it because you're going to answer the same question after the break. We're going to go to a quick break, so join us after this, where Israel's going to be talking about what his ideal woman would be like. Join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. Now, before the break, we asked Joseph what his ideal woman would be like, and he kind of answered. No, he did. Now, Israel, what about you? So you're a bad boy in the past. How would you treat a woman today, and what's your ideal woman?
I think, first of all,
Don't try and talk around it. Just get straight to the point.
Best friends. I think before anything else, I have to be her best friend. And I have to be that person to her. Because I think communication is everything. Because how can I play with someone that I have feelings to? I will never do that. So first of all, it has to be my best friend. The person that
Can you hear the violins in the back? Yeah, sorry, go on.
My best friend. I think we need to have an attraction to each other. I think without the attraction, without me being, you know, not a bad boy, but playing around to make things more interesting.
Okay.
It's always good.
It's going into a lot of detail. Yeah.
I believe that's good for a relationship.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not married, but I believe it's good. And I think vows, we should make vows to each other.
You're talking about marriage now, aren't you? Not just sort of girlfriend.
Yeah, because what is the whole point of dating if you're not going to get married? Before I would never...
you're quite old-fashioned then, deep down. That's traditional. Yeah.
He had time to think about this.
Yes, I wasn't giving a cliche answer. Now, guys, I have another question for you. What type of girls did you use to target? What was it about them that would make you go for them? Could you see a certain sort of vulnerability in them? What was it? Let's talk to the villain, the ex-villain.
I didn't actually target any specific type. I mean, I went out with all different types of girls. I think it just progressed into the ones I met just progressed into that type of relationship.
But would you notice that if they were very needy or if they were sort of maybe not confident about themselves? What do you think?
I think the girls normally comes to the bad guys. Yeah. We don't really choose. We don't really aim.
One thing I would say, I wasn't really that type of guy who was like these guys that just go up and speak to every woman. Women would actually want to speak to me. So I wouldn't actually.
So you're kind of like standoffish kind of.
Yeah, I would. You know, I'm a friendly guy. I'll be communicate with them, whatever. But they would always be the ones who were really the instigators, to tell the truth. And maybe that is the truth. So I wasn't really picking. They was picking me, and I was taking advantage of what is.
And you didn't say no.
Yeah, I was just taking advantage of. You know, what
was offered to you.
Yeah, what was offered to me.
What about you, Israel?
Yeah. I was kind of the same, but normally
who would you target? Would you target anyone in particular?
I would target normally girls who said no to me. I was the guy who said, if you say no to me, you're going to pay for your time. So yeah, I'm going to stay with you.
Okay, well, you're nodding there. Yeah? So women like the challenge.
And it's interesting that you're saying that women were chasing you as opposed to the other way around, and yet the woman that you want is someone who's homely, family, someone that you'd probably chase. So yes, it's the women really, not the guys, which is what we say. It's
I think it is the women, because the guys are not being anything but bad boys. They're not promising, you know, the ladies that they're not saying, I'm going to be with you, I'm going to be your right hand, you know, I'm going to be there to support you over everything. They are being who they are. It's the ladies that keep coming back for more. It could be that, you know, they have their own insecurities. Like, it's like, I think when we talk about particular types, for example, I don't think there's a particular type, i.e. blonde, blue-eyed, whatever. It's insecurities and complexes that a person has that allows themselves to be treated like this. Because I think you said it earlier, that they don't believe that anybody else will treat them the way that they deserve to be treated. Yeah. So they allow these men to treat them.
I think there's a small percentage of women that do like the fun though. And they will go out and they do maybe just want to sleep with someone and they want to just have some fun and everything. So there are, but I think that percentage of women is quite small because I think deep down, every person, not just women, everyone wants to actually settle down with someone and have someone that they can trust and someone that they can, you know, like you said, Israel, to be your best friend with. Yeah. But it's like the more, for example, if you're watching at home, you're a lady, you keep falling for the bad boys. The more you keep falling for these bad boys, the more they're gonna keep hurting you, and the more like insecurities you're gonna build up inside of yourself. So it's never. Sometimes women think they can't change and they can't.
Can I give you an advice about going to a bad boy?
Yeah, go on.
Instead of you asking your best friend, that is probably a girl, ask a guy who is a guy. ask the guy who is his friend how he is. Because the bad boy name girls give us. We don't go and we say, we're the bad boy. Normally, girls give us that name. So instead of you going to your best friend, there's probably a girl and asking, how is he? What do you think about him? Go to his best friend or to any guy in school or whatever you
But the thing is, if he's a bad boy as well, then he's probably not going to tell the truth.
No,
anyway.
but,
Birds of a feather.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys are guys.
I know, I think that's true. It's not really, it's not the guys who are saying, "Oh, we're bad boys." You know, I never. When I now looking back at it, I think, yeah, I was a bad boy, but I wasn't intentionally going out there and thinking, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I was just out there doing my thing, you know.
Yeah.
And the girls are coming to you.
And normally guys who say they're bad boys, they're not really.
They're not really. All right, so ladies, you've heard it from the ex-bad boys' mouths as well. So, you know, like I said, it's never too late to change. If you've been in like a pattern and you've been going for the same type of guy, the guys that, you know, couldn't care less or they treat you badly, it's never too late to change. But I think the issue that you need to deal with is the issue that's inside yourself. You know, ask yourself, why do I keep going for the wrong type of guy? You know, why am I letting people sometimes use me? Or sometimes there's women that know they're being cheated on and they stay in relationships. So why is that? Where does that stem from? Is it something from your childhood? Is it something that happened to you in the past? You need to deal with that first. Get that sorted out first. Start to gain your own confidence. Don't think that you need to be with someone, first of all, because a lot of women, they don't like to be alone. And they think they can't be happy. They think they can't be fulfilled unless they have a man. And I love, you know, being married and I love having my husband. But, you know, and I believe people can be happier when they have someone. But if you're with the wrong person, it's going to make your life really bad. So, you know, take your time. You know, you don't have to be with someone now. Get yourself sorted out first. Deal with any issues. If you need some kind of counseling, if you need some kind of therapy, do that first before you jump into a next relationship. And then be a bit choosy. Have a bit of self-respect for yourself and be choosy. Get to know them. You don't have to start a relationship immediately. You get to know the person, be friends. I was friends with my husband for 2 years before we started to go out together. And I got to know him really well as a person. And I think that's really important. It doesn't always work out that way. Some people just meet somewhere, they hit it off straight away, they get to know each other and it works out. But you just have to, I think people just have to take their time nowadays. And if you're looking for that serious relationship, that is. What do you think, Chelsea?
Yeah, I think part of the problem is some women can't visualize that happy relationship. So they've had a pattern of bad boys and so they just follow that pattern because that's what they know and they think that's the norm. So I say go and find a relationship that you can see is working and is in a healthy relationship and visualize and think about yourself in that kind of relationship and go for different types of guys if you are finding that you tend to go for the same kind of guys but you're no happier. And like you say, work on yourself first, be a whole person before you go out there looking for someone who's going to complete you, which never works. You know, but go in as a whole person who's strong and can say these are my standards and this is what I will accept and what I won't accept, and you'll be happy.
See, this
in the
is
long
the problem,
run.
because if you're waiting for someone else to complete you, you're putting so much pressure on that person that they're going to feel so like suffocated because you're expecting them to make you a whole person, but it's not, doesn't work that way. No, you need to be that whole person. Exactly, you can't, and that's when you're going to exude confidences on. That's what's going to attract the right person to you. But if it's the other way around, it really doesn't work. Because I was like that. I was expecting my then boyfriend to complete me, and if I wasn't with him I felt down and it was horrible. I used to be, and that's what made me very jealous, very possessive, and I was just a nightmare to be with. But it's only when I gained that confidence within myself that he started to sort of like, we had kind of a normal relationship, and we do now. Very nice one, by the way, but anyway. And I'll talk about it more. We'll talk about it one day a bit more. Yes, Joseph?
I think it's they have to know what they're basing the relationship on, because I mean that when in that stage of my life I was quite young as well, and a lot of the women were quite young and they hadn't really realised what really a relationship was all about. So we based the relationship on the physical side instead of basing it on different values that we have, interests and whatever. It was just come together and that was it. And then once you'd done that, then you was in a relationship, and that was the basis of the relationship. Was not the right way to start, really.
Okay. Well, I'll let you have the last word on that because we've run out of time, Joseph. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, yes, for coming on tonight. Thank you, Chelsea. Yeah, everyone's saying to me, Westfield. Tomorrow, we have a mega event in Westfield, Stratford. We're going to be there from 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be doing 2 live Chrissy B shows there, and I'm also going to be joining forces with DKW show as well, the lovely different kind of women. So, you know, if you want to come down and join us, I'd love to meet some of the fans of the shows as well. We can take some pictures, you can watch the shows, be part of the live audience. There's going to be lots of giveaways, there's going to be makeovers. I think there's going to be Zumba as well. So it's going to be like a fun-packed day, and we'd love to see you there as well tomorrow. So that's going to be from 9 a.m. You're going to be there, Lisa?
I'm going to be there too, can't wait.
So really looking forward to that. So do have a wonderful weekend. If we don't see you tomorrow at Westfield Stratford, we will see you on Monday with the Chrissy B Show. Have a wonderful weekend. Thanks, guys, again. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.